because I see so many people that get in front of or get on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and they have the kitty cats, they have all these masks, and but mainly the people who have like Jelly Roll or Batman or Superman or uh, whoever else in front of their
Say, stop it.
on their profile picture, and they're not being themselves.
Sit.
You know, no one is as important as you are. And when you do that, it makes people believe that you're not real, that you're not being yourself, and that you can't be trusted. So just be yourself, love yourself, and it also makes you look like a troll, especially if you don't have a lot of followers. So just be yourself, guys. You know, it's hard to talk to someone and believe in someone if they're under the name of Cat's Cradle or From the Cradle to the Grave or something crazy like that. I wanna be able to say
Jelly Roll or Jelly Roll's daughter.
I want to talk to somebody. If I talk to somebody, I want to be like, hey.
Hey, Zay.
I want to be like, hey.
Zayna, get over here. Get over here.
I want to be like, hey, John, what's going on today? Or
Right
hey,
Leave
Monica,
that toy
or
alone.
hey, Stephanie, or hey,
Come on,
Courtney,
sit down.
or hey, Kim,
Zayna, stop it. I
hey,
don't know what
Strassi, something like that. I want my friends to be friends. And, I want to know their real names, so maybe we can connect in the future and all these other things. So my dogs are going crazy right now because they're being themselves. That's how they are. You know,
Zayna, go in
take
there.
your lesson from dogs. Dogs are the realest thing on
Stop
this
it.
planet. They're going to be themselves no matter what.
What are you about today, huh?
So,
Why are you being
yeah.
so mean?
And everybody, again, here they go and destroy my video. So, yeah, like I was saying, be yourselves. And I guess, in a way, we're being ourselves now because this is the chaos that we have in our camper
Every day.
all day, just about. So we have a dog, a female German Shepherd that's been growling and barking at, and going off on the rest of the dogs. And sometimes it's for no reason, but sometimes, I'm not a dog psychologist or anything like that, but I think it's she's about to either go into heat or she's got an injured paw or maybe she sees something that we don't. So it's a toss up. But a lot of my dogs can be buttholes, and but I know each and every one of their names sometimes. So sometimes I forget their names. You know, I have 5 dogs, but I know my name. But I forgot how old I am. Yeah, I forgot how old Shelly is. Shelly forgot how old she is. You know what? My mom called me yesterday and asked me how old I was, and I couldn't tell her. So you know how crazy that is. Sometimes you get caught up in stuff and you just don't remember things like that. And by law, they consider you to be crazy if you don't remember your birth date. Uh, and who the president is. I don't really at this moment care who the president is because it doesn't affect me. What affects me is what's going on in my city and on my street and in my household. Other than that, I don't seem to, want to even worry about it.
Stop biting her in the neck.
So, with that being said, I've had a suspicious car that's been parked behind my camper for almost 4 hours now, and don't know what the deal is, but let's take a look.
Stop.
Let's take a look over yonder.
Go. Go.
Now, I don't know if he's smuggling or if he's waiting on somebody to cross the border or if it's an agent, or if it's from the mayor's office, or if he owns the land there. It's really none of my business unless he gets on my property. So yeah, just be yourself. And if you want to be on my page, please, guys, just try to use your real name. Now I understand if I've blocked you before, and you want to come back on the page, just ask, and I will put you back on the page. I will put you back on. And if you show out again, then I'll block you again. But just be real. We're all
Hey, please stop.
we're all adults here. We all make mistakes, and we all do things that we regret, and some things that we don't regret. But I mean, I think that we're old enough now to where we can come to some type of understanding and learn to like and love one another. Don't you think? I think it's time for us all to grow up and realize that we're all the same. No matter what race, creed, color, sex we are, no one is better than anybody else. Nobody is anybody else's boss. Nobody is greater than anybody else. Nobody is running anybody else. Okay? And unless you're in prison or something like that, you don't have, or if you're a child, you don't have anybody that can tell you what to do. Nobody. The police can't tell you what to do if you haven't broken the law. So, with that being said, be yourself, guys. Just be yourself. The name of our page is Breaking Free LLC. That's because that's the name of our business. But everybody knows who we are. The Woffords, Charles Wofford. Yeah, born January 7th, 1977. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, like I said, I'm willing to make amends with anybody that's willing to that wants to come back on the channel or on my Facebook page or anything else. I just don't. I just want it drama free. You know what I mean? So I don't want to fight with anybody. I don't want to argue with anybody. We do things our way. You do things your way. There's always going to be a difference of opinion when you have a group of people together. So let's be men and women and humans and love one another and learn to forgive. That's what God would have done. That's what Jesus would have done. And that's what I'm going to do. Until the next time, in the words of the great, late Jerry Springer, take care and each other.